up, you guys? We're back with another video today. Today's video is going to be about the best pond topping to lake fishing box that you need for fishing. Now, the first thing I like to carry is an extra reel, because you never know when you're going to strip a bearing in your reel or blow that bait caster up of yours. So, just for instance, if you're an attorney and you can't just go home because you get a bad backlash in your bait caster or strip a bearing, you're always going to have that extra reel just in case. The second thing I like to carry is some 17-pound mono for my bait caster and 8-pound mono for my spinning reels. Now, the third thing I like to carry is my terminal box, of course, because you always need that terminal box if you want to throw the Holy Grail wacky rig or the Texas rig. I also always want to keep a set of pliers because, like I said, you never know when you're going to get a nasty backlash in that bait caster reel of yours. You just can't pick it out with your fingers. And you also need these because if you have to switch from a bait imitation, like a bait fish imitation bait, to a crawl bait or just other things around. Now, I also like to carry my cranking box, so like with all my crankbaits, just anything that's got that vibrating feeling to it, kind of like a chatterbait, just for that like bait fish imitation bait, instead of like a jig that's kind of like a crawfish, instead of a crankbait that's kind of moving faster, kind of burning it, and it's moving faster, kind of like a shad or bluegill or anything like that. I also like to carry my jig box, which is always filled with crawls and just all colors of jigs. Now, one of my personal favorite jigs is these finesse jigs at Cabela's. They are green pumpkin purple, and they are bass fishing catching machines. Skip them up under docks, throw them in any brush, anything like that. They will guarantee you catch something. Now, I like to carry like a trickworm box. I like throwing trickworms, especially around brush or floated timber, just anything like that. But you can put any soft plastic you like. I just prefer trickworm because they work pretty good and I like them. Also like to carry my finesse box. Now, it comes with Ned rigs, micro crankbaits, just anything that's finesse, that if bass ain't hitting that day, you can always catch some crappie or some bluegill, and maybe even a couple small bass. The third thing I like to carry, or not the third thing, one of the other things I like to carry would be my topwater box that comes with buzzbaits, frogs, whopper poppers, just any topwater, which buzzbaits are definitely my favorite. Comment y'all's favorite topwater in the comments, because buzzbaits are just my favorite. I love them. That's what's caught the most fish for me. Now, here's some personal favorites of mine. These are definitely my favorite drop shot worms, these Robo Worms. They are some bass fishing catching machines. And the color is Morning Dawn Red Flake. Awesome color. Now, these are what I like with my wacky worms. I like green pumpkin purple, just like that finesse jig. They work awesome for Texas riggers and wacky worms. Now, here's my favorite swim jig trailers, especially for shad imitation kind of colors. Just that white kind of color, which with that coffee scent works perfect for those bass. And here is my favorite Ned color. It is, what color is this? Twilight from Z-Man. These are awesome. They're 10 times tough, and I believe it. These things are really stretchy and really good baits. And no, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, but I wish I was. Now, another thing I like to keep in here. So, I like to dip my crawls in the scent. It's called Dip and Glow. Hold on, if I can get it out. It's called Spike It Dip and Glow Garlic Chartreuse. I like to dip the tail of my jig trailers in them. It works really good and catches those bass, especially with that green pumpkin purple finesse jig with a green pumpkin jig trailer. They look so good together and they work really good together. And I think that's everything that you need. I do like to carry a couple, like another thing like a gator, so if you're going to cross the water early in the morning or it's a really hot day, you just throw this in the water and it cools you off if you put it on. I think they both work really good, just depending on what you want. If you want it in the morning, do not dip it in the water. It'll be freezing. If you want it in the afternoon when it's blazing hot sun, 70, not 70, like 80 degrees out, you do not want it just dry. Promise me. But I think that's all, really. I just wanted to do this just to help y'all out and help y'all get better as I progress too. Now, I will see y'all